We are back. We're back. Yeah.
You fucking savages, motherfucking sons of bitches, motherfucking sexy penises and vaginas. We love all of you. Hassan, what's up, buddy?
Hey.
It's a night beans. We're doing a night episode.
We're doing a night shoot, baby.
We're doing a sexy ass night shoot with a sexy ass movie.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, you guys think we're here for the movie that you're here for? No, not yet. If you're a new listener, we're here for what, Hassan?
Well, I got to review last week's movie first, and it was Bring It On.
Get on fucking board, new listener.
Yeah. We review the previous week's movie for the first 10, 15.
Dumbass.
Yeah. For how did you not know that, new listener? Bring It On. Man.
You watch it?
Yeah.
Do you feel pepped up? Do you feel like you got the spirit, buddy? Some spirit fingers perhaps?
Yeah, I enjoyed. It was like, wow, this is a fun movie. This movie was fun.
You know why it was a franchise?
Yeah.
It's an undeniable franchise. Even if you could be a big budget corporate guy who's not into the whole movie, but there's nobody you watching, they'll go, yeah, let's make like 4.
Yeah, let's make like 4. Yeah. Yeah. Let's just what?
We built a universe? All right, let's do it.
These 20-plus-year-old women, they were just super hot and doing cheerleader stuff. God damn, the Missy girl was crazy hot. Crazy.
So when she comes out
in the cheerleader outfit,
I told you, nigga.
And like she like
and they're playing that song too. Yeah. I never want to be you.
And she doesn't look all like weird. Like they try to make her look like strangely like gothy or whatever. Not gothy, but they made her look like weird at first, and then she like looked like, oh, okay, this is what you actually look like.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They tried to like play her down at first.
Bro, she fine as hell, bro.
Nah, a lot of them are.
Her and the girl with the fat ass. Remember the girl that they were like talking about how she was fat?
But they were making fun. What, dude? How times have changed, huh? Yeah. How times have changed. How like that ass is like, oh yeah, she was crazy hot, but like they made fun of her for that ass.
She just had a big ass, bro.
Yeah, but like that was a thing to make fun of.
Yeah, because that was not
in.
Well, yeah, it wasn't in that community for sure.
No,
not the white cheerleading community.
No, definitely not.
I doubt a fat, monstrous, beautiful, luscious. Oh
Dad's
my
rich
God.
too.
She looked like a Kardashian.
She did. She did. She did. Everything
okay?
Did. Yeah, we're good.
We're checking technical stuff. Yeah, man, I'm telling you, everyone in the movie was hot. Everyone in the movie was 30, and everything was legal.
Oh man! All right.
What'd you like?
Oh, this is something you forgot to mention.
What?
Because we talked about how this was the perfect pre-9/11 movie during the episode. How this was like a quintessential pre-9/11 movie.
Yeah, it is.
And you completely neglected to mention
that 9/11 happens in it?
No.
Oh.
No.
I don't know. I don't know what
that would be crazy. How the Gabrielle Union's character was named ISIS.
Her name is ISIS. You know what's funny though?
ISIS.
They don't say it that much in the movie.
They say it a couple times. They say, "Go ISIS, you can do it." That's what they say.
They don't even say her motherfucking name in this movie, bro. Not really.
Say it a couple times, but
not like Torrance or Missy
or
like even though she's apparently a main character, she's got like a top lead. She's like a third build or second build in this.
Her name is ISIS.
That's ridiculous.
It's pre 9/11 as fuck.
That's ridiculous.
As fuck.
But also fun and silly.
Yeah.
And words are fun.
Well, you know,
they change over
it's
time.
an Egyptian god, right? So at the very end, it's like a goddess's name. So I think if I had to guess what they were aiming for, it would be that.
Oh, bro, that's so funny because that's like one day if like the name Dale meant like the worst terrorist group of all time.
Yeah,
and people are like, oh, it's just days. He was a NASCAR driver.
Yeah,
and
he drove and he kind of died. It was tragic.
It was tragic now.
Yeah,
but anyway.
Now it's like the next white hate group.
That's what I'm saying. And they're all Dale, and it's like, it started. Trust me, it started in a good place.
Yeah, it started in competitive racing. I don't know how it got to where it got. But there are people like that. There are people everywhere in the world, unironically named ISIS.
Yeah.
That just got fucked. Now, we were at a crab feed restaurant. And
we were at the Drunken Crab. The name of the restaurant.
Yeah,
with our boy Brian Simpson. Very funny comic. And
Sam. They
Sam.
were singing happy birthday to a person named ISIS. And that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate. And I really hope that person isn't a kid. Because if that person's a kid.
That person was a kid.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, so then their parents knew what the fuck they were doing.
No, they were, and I hate to say this, they were Mexican.
That doesn't mean anything. ISIS is a known thing.
Hassan, they were really Mexican. You remember how their kid was just running around with no shirt on?
That's fair.
They were Mexican family. This is a restaurant. We're in a public place.
That's fair. Okay.
I'm not going to say what they look like, but you know what they look like.
Okay.
You know what kind of Mexican I'm talking about.
Okay. But let's say, right, that they're so, what's the nice way to say this? In their culture, that they don't know what ISIS is, right? Let's say they're that in their culture. How the fuck, then, do they know an Egyptian goddess? Do you feel what I'm saying? ISIS is like a Middle Eastern name.
Yeah.
So for them to know that, but not actual ISIS.
Yeah, bro. Maybe they were on some Aztec warrior shit.
Aztecs and Middle Easterns are way different things.
Dude, yo, gods are gods. Statues are statues. Nigga, cows are cows. All right? I know about religion.
Okay. You know, you just said a lot of words, and I'll let you have that, but it doesn't make any sense.
They didn't make sense.
But the parents of that crab restaurant knew what they were doing, and I appreciate their sense of humor.
You're stupid.
Now this is like a more like serious but real question about the movie.
Am I bringing it on?
Okay. Well, no, let me go after one sort of like funny thing that this is the only thing in the movie that bugged me.
What? Something bugged you about bringing it on?
Something. Oh yeah. Something, and it bugged me hard. Right.
What bugged you about bringing it on?
Right. And this is a movie that I completely lost myself in the world to. I completely suspended all disbelief.
Okay.
Right.
Which is how you watch this.
Right. Yes. And this still got me. Right. This is okay. Let me start by saying this is a cheesy movie. Right.
Okay. Of course.
Right. And in these cheesy movies,
Yes.
they often say the title of the movie in the movie. That is a fun trope.
Yes. I like movies that do that.
Right. So, they're at the cheerleading competition at the end. And she goes, "You got it?" And she goes, "Yeah, you better bring it." And she goes, "Yeah, I'll bring it."
Mm-hmm.
Now, it wouldn't have been that hard to be like, "Are you going to do it?" "Yeah, bring it on." You know what I mean? It's not a leap to get there. And I feel like I'm not asking for a lot.
You know what they do? You know what they, and I'm going to be honest here.
Yeah.
Because I know. Without even knowing, but I know.
They filmed the movie before naming it.
No. They filmed the movie, and they were like, "Oh, let's not be one of those movies who say the name and the title." And they all agreed. Like, yep, let's not be one of those movies.
Why?
But they still weren't creative enough to not do that.
Yeah.
That's my belief.
Yeah, we're like, if we don't leave it, if you take the on out.
Yeah, exactly. And they were like, "Now what you gonna say?" We're one of those, and it's like, well,
But no, that's what I wanted from the movie. That is the exact movie that's totally cool with doing.
what'd you think about the football?
Oh man, they got fucked. They were really bad. My favorite is when they're running on the field and the guy drops the football running on the field.
I know.
Yeah.
It's fucking high school.
Yeah. It's like, damn, y'all suck that bad? That's funny.
Oh my god, bro, they hadn't won a game in 5 years.
No.
And your cheerleading team is winning national titles on ESPN.
Whew.
That means so much funding will go to your cheerleading team.
Right.
Like crazy amounts of funding. You would be in them shitty ass uniforms, and they would be in those
They
dope.
would be in the dope, shiny uniforms. Yeah, and that's exactly what you deserve. Win some games.
Yeah.
Win some games.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay, but like, real deal, serious question. Because I was watching this movie, and how would they make this movie today? Meaning,
What do you mean?
the amount of times they say fag
Yeah, that's
and
great.
dyke,
Yep.
right? They say it a lot in this movie.
Yeah.
And pretty casually.
Yeah.
But well, it was clear that it was...
Oh, you mean they talk like high schoolers?
Right. But obviously, that wouldn't happen today. A movie like this...
Who's on the wrong side of this, Hassan?
Well, it's not the wrong side of this. I'm just saying it wouldn't happen today. But now my question is, what do these people... If you're a PC person, I want to hear from you on this. Because you grew up with this movie. So you know this movie. And it's not like a shitty movie. You know, it's not like we got to take this down type of movie.
No, it's fun, and you know it.
Yeah.
And they know it.
Yeah. So would you
It's like American Pie.
Would you even play it on TV today? Like what?
It's on TV. It plays on TV all the time.
Still?
Yeah.
It's so crazy. It's so crazy how that doesn't...
But then again, it's always played on a clean version on TV.
Right.
So it doesn't matter anyway.
Oh, that's true. They definitely don't say it on TV.
No, yeah, they're not saying
Yeah.
those. But the movie still gets played. Nobody's
Right.
canceling Bring It On. And when it's
Right.
on Netflix, and when it's
Okay.
on, HBO, you're getting those words.
Right. Okay. So now the
What are you
question
asking?
is, let's say the exact same movie, it doesn't exist, right? And the exact same movie, shot for shot, is put out today, shot for shot, word for word.
Yeah.
How do you think people react?
Oh my God, people lose their
But do you
stupid ass
like
minds.
it would be like a thing, right?
Yeah.
It would be like a thing.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And people,
Wow.
you know what's annoying? People will be like, we don't talk like this anymore. And it's be like, hey, high schoolers do. And let me tell you something else. Everyone else fucking does in private. Now, everyone else doesn't do it in public like how they would in high school. But in high school, that is how motherfuckers talk in the hallway. I was there.
Okay. I wonder if that's how they talk in high school now.
Bro, saying dirty words will never not be fun.
Right. That's true. That's true.
Ever.
That's
ever,
true.
ever.
But
What?
I wouldn't be surprised
If
high schoolers say it less now. I wouldn't be surprised.
You think high school, because you're saying these are cuss words, dude.
Yeah.
I would be, you know what, and I'm going to double down on this statement. High schoolers say it more now because it's fucking, they're not supposed to. Dude, don't you ever think people are people? Don't tell them what to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Don't tell a young kid what to do, especially.
No, but young kids are also like super susceptible to social pressure.
Let's see.
They're more susceptible than adults.
I'm
Adults will
curious.
say That's why adults will say some shit where kids will like fall in line for a while. Kids like that's why college is an echo chamber. Is because these kids aren't adults yet, and so it's all social pressure.
But let me tell you something. All right.
Right.
Let me tell you something.
Right.
You're the same age as me.
Right.
You were not supposed to say faggot. Tell me, you were not supposed to say it. At any point, were you
Right.
ever allowed? Hold up, just bear with me here.
Right.
At any point, were you ever allowed to say it at home? Was it a good word to say at home?
No.
Was it a good word to say in front of adults?
No.
Was you supposed to say it in front of anybody?
No.
How fun was it to say it?
I mean,
You said it, didn't you?
Yeah, obviously.
That's what I'm saying, bro. That's
Right.
all. It's
Right.
always been bad. Things. People like bad, bro. People like bad. I will gamble on people all the time, and I think people don't change. Ever.
I don't know. I don't disagree with that. I think the sensibilities do change over time. That is
Sensibilities change, maybe,
Right.
but something like this, dirty words. Dirty words are fun, man. Dirty words are dirty words. You know.
yeah, but it's not like dirty. Yeah. Well,
Dirty words, you're not supposed to say faggot, bro. You're not.
Yeah.
I was never supposed to say it at any point. God damn it, I said it.
that's true. That is. True.
I was never supposed to say nigga. You're not supposed to say any of these words. You're not supposed to. Black, you're not, bro. Everybody's like, oh, but black people allowed to say it, but it's like, yeah, but you're not. Nobody's like, hey, say it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Nobody, your parents, nobody's like that, bro. You just say it because it's a dirty word.
Yeah.
People are fucking crazy, bro. People are tripping.
Right.
Because it sucks now. Because you're right. You made a great point. I do agree with you that they couldn't make this movie now, and it sucks
No.
because it's like, dude, that's how people talk, and it's also it's outrageous. That's the whole point. It's outrageous, right? It's like, oh my god, that's outrageous to talk like that, and it's like, no fucking shit. It's a movie about cheerleading. It's an outrageous movie.
Does that sort of kind of teen comedy even exist anymore?
Oh god, no. Every comedy ever since
I think
Juno, teen comedy's changed. They became more that. Everything's like that now.
Everything's a little more realistic.
Yep. The last one of them hardcore hitting was Superbad.
Superbad? That's exactly what I was thinking. Superbad was the last of a kind.
Yep. And then, but I will say this. I heard the new movie was good, and I never saw it. The Good Boys or whatever. I never saw that. Did you see it?
I enjoyed the movie. I thought the movie was funny.
And you tell me,
It's not like it's outrageous, but it's also grounded in a weird sense of like the kids are playing their own age. Do you feel what I'm saying? It's not like that where everything is just like people are clearly older than, you know what I mean?
It's fucking outrageous. And they're saying the most crazy things and doing the most crazy things.
It's outrageous, but there's still like this weird level of reality it's not cartoony. This is cartoony.
Yeah.
This is cartoony.
But it sucks that they're not allowed to make it.
No, there are cartoony. It's a good movie. I would watch it. It's funny.
What, Bring It On?
No, I'm talking about The Good Boys.
Oh, I like Bring It
Yeah,
On.
I mean, I would also Bring It On, but that's not what I was talking about. It's not the same. It's just not the same. The colors aren't as bright. The colors are darker in any kind of teen movie now.
Yeah, bro. Even though Superbad, the colors were dark, but it was still outrageous. The colors weren't. It wasn't a bright movie.
No, it wasn't a bright movie.
But the color, but like it wasn't like it because like nigga, American Pie.
Right, that's a bright
It's
movie.
priceless, man. And also, it's like you gotta make shit like that. You gotta draw the line of what's outrageous. And you can't be like, well, we don't talk like that. It's like, bro, we gotta fucking be funny.
Right, but there is something. It was just like even like in terms of ridiculousness. like the American Pies from like the airplanes. It just seems like we've been getting like a little less ridiculous as time has gone on.
Yeah, no, we got to bring it back, man. We got to bring back that silly goose time, as
Yeah.
Krista Lee would say.
Yeah, and let's bring it on. Beaners, this is your intermission right now.
Before we get into the episode you are here for, really quick, thank you for listening. We love you.
We do. Please subscribe to us on YouTube. Rate and review this podcast on iTunes.
Please rate and review. That stuff matters. We could use the help, and we would appreciate it.
Yeah, tell your friends about the podcast. We know you love it.
Tell your friends about the podcast. We know you love it. You keep going back and listening to old episodes. That's
Yeah.
how we know you love it. We appreciate that.
And yeah, follow us on Instagram at Spoil the Beans, and then you can find our individual Instagrams. We're linked on everything. Follow
Derek
us from
Poston, Hassan Ahmad.
there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, and shout out to Greg Scamato for making our theme music. If you want some more samples from him or maybe help from him, check out gregcanhelp.com.
Yep.
Yeah. And now back to your future presentation. Hey, Beaner.
We're back for the second time, and y'all don't know it. We had some technical motherfucking difficulties.
when we started filming this episode. All right.
So we had to start it over, but you all don't know that. Welcome to this version. Hey, Hassan, before we get started with the movie, you want to do some dates real quick,
Dates,
buddy?
yeah. Tomorrow, Tuesday, the 11th. Or is it the 12th? Sorry.
12th, buddy.
Catch me pre-roast battle at the Comedy Store, Belly Room, 10:30.
Pre-roast battle at the Comedy Store, the Belly Room, and watch a great show with Hassan Ahmad, guys.
Right.
And then the 14th through the 16th, we will be in Dallas, Texas, at the Addison Improv with Mr. Brennan Schaub.
Yes.
Get tickets at tfatk.com. Get your tickets at Brennan Schaub, schedule. And then the next week, right after that, the 21st through the 23rd, we will be in Salt Lake City, Utah.
Wise guys, baby. Hey.
Give me a wife, bring her over here so I can punch you in a fucking guga.
Yeah, what is it, funny like a clown, huh? ZD.
You get it.
Yeah,
awesome,
yeah.
buddy.
Yeah.
And then November 27th.
November 27th, I will be at Ice House with Big Brown. This guy will not.
I will be there. I'll be at home for Thanksgiving. Sorry, guys. But if you want to fuck with your boy, December 3rd, I will be headlining Lestat's in San Diego. That's Lestat's Coffee Shop in San Diego on Adams Avenue. Come on out and fuck with your boy. The show is free. It's a great show. It's gonna sell out.
First
It always
come,
does.
first serve, so
but it's
get
first
there.
come, first serve. You gotta get there. It's gonna sell out regardless. So you gotta get there first come, first serve. But you can see your boy do an hour. And then if you can't catch me December 3rd, if you got work, you can't come, whatever it is, can't get a babysitter. December 4th, I'll be headlining El Prez in the Wood. It's called The Wood, the El Prez comedy show in Pacific Beach. Also, first come, first serve. Get there early because that show will also sell out. But it's a dope show.
Yes, and I believe you can buy seats there too if you want a closer seat.
If you want a closer seat, you can buy seats there. That's absolutely true. And then the rest of the month of December, we will be with Brendan Schaub. Every weekend, we're out every single
out
weekend
doing
that
some
weekend.
stuff, yeah.
So we'll say the dates then. But if December, just check your city if you want to come see us. We'll be with him. Check.
tfatk.com. Every date that's up there, we will be with him.
That's it, buddy. You know what it is.
Yeah.
And then also Wednesday, I'll be in La Jolla too. The December 4th of that Wednesday, I'll be at La Jolla right before I do El Prez. So if you don't want to go, can't go there if you live in La Jolla, come on out to La Jolla and watch your boy have some fun before a headline.
But if you can't go to El Prez.
Go to Prez. That's where I'm
what
be
I'm gonna
doing
go
a
to.
set and I'll be
Yeah.
headlining and all that stuff. Hassan Ahmad.
Right. That's who I am.
That's your name.
Yep.
I'm excited for this episode.
Hasn't always been my name. But anyways.
I'm excited.
Okay.
Guys, I know the movie. You know the movie. Hassan, he doesn't know the movie. He never knows. That's the whole point of the podcast. He never seen a million fucking stupid ass movies that he should have saw. And this is one of them. Hassan, but before we get into it, because I'm about to tell you, and I'm really excited to tell you, but before I do it,
Right.
can you do me a favor?
Mm-hmm.
Can you?
Sure.
Thank you. Can you?
Rolling my eyes for those who can't see.
He's rolling his eyes. He did roll his eyes. I hurt my feelings a lot, but I'm powering through. Can you tell me real quick what you think happens in the movie you've never seen? Flightplan.
Bro, I remember when the trailer for this movie came out and I wanted to see it real badly.
Yeah.
And I never saw it. This is the Jodie Foster movie. I know
what
that.
it is.
And she's on a plane and her daughter goes missing.
Will you tell me what you think happens?
Okay, so it's
How about
like,
that?
okay, I know it's like her plane. So like, she's clearing out the captain. She like designed this plane, and it's supposed to be like a different kind of plane.
Oh.
Yeah, you know? And maybe it's like extra safe, you know, like the Titanic, where it's
Oh no, it's not an unsinkable ship.
or it's like
An unsinkable plane.
or it's like a big ass plane.
Okay.
It's like a big ass plane, one of the two.
Okay.
Right. And you know, she, you know, she's excited to take the ride, and you know, she's taking the first flight on the plane.
Oh, it's the
First
voyage.
flight,
First
yeah,
voyage.
first voyage. And she has
Titanic
like,
shit.
Ooh, yeah, and she has like a shady boss type.
Oh, who's the shady boss? Like the company owner?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And you know, she goes on. She's a single mom. She brings her kid on the flight.
Yeah.
Or whatever. And then you know, everyone, you know, she sleeps, and then all of a sudden the kid is gone.
What?
Yeah.
On a plane.
On a plane. The kid is gone on a plane. And, you know, for whatever reason, people don't recall seeing the kid.
Wait, the whole that doesn't make sense. You're talking the whole crew.
Maybe the whole crew didn't see her. Maybe she was like
all the passengers.
Maybe she was in a special place for the crew, so the passengers couldn't have seen it. The passengers are like, you know,
Huh, interesting.
yeah. And
Cool,
then
okay, and the crew
yeah, sees her, and then she doesn't show up on the passenger manifest or whatever.
No
that's called.
way.
Yeah, it's like, oh, did I enter this alone? And you find out
Company owner. Who would have? Okay, I'm sorry, but keep going. That's your movie. It's your movie. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm spoiling your beans.
Yeah, you're spilling my beans. Yeah, I actually had some, like the thought to set up some foreshadowing. You fucking ruined it.
Sorry. I got a little hint. I saw it coming, but you know.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm doing my best.
Keep going.
Fuck.
You just revealed that she's on the manifest, so
She's
we
on
know
the
who did
manifest.
it.
Yeah, we know who did it. Pretty much, and everyone recalls not seeing her, and then you find out like, oh, she's been going through some like mental shit since her husband died or whatever, and that's why she's questioning her sanity, and she's looking for her kid in these weird places or whatever, and she can't find the kid, and then, you know, but while she's doing that, she somehow unearths a conspiracy to bring the plane down on its maiden voyage. The company owner for like insurance or some shit. You know how it
Okay.
is.
Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
Keep going.
And
It's your ending.
Turns out the whole crew, the captain and something, the crew is involved,
Yeah.
and they're all kind of aware.
Okay.
But she can't be aware because she built the plane, so she knows how it works, and she's like, "Oh, it wouldn't have worked that way. Someone sabotaged this." But if they set up that she has a crazy kid, that she's crazy.
So your movie fucking spirals.
Yeah. And then she finds her kid, and then she figures it all out.
Where'd she find her kid?
Yeah, they hit her somewhere. Probably.
Okay.
Yeah, some compartment.
All right.
Yeah.
Anyway, how's it end? What happened?
Yeah, she, you know, they say she saves the day. They find the kid. They figure out the plot to bring the plane down. And then, you know, the bad guys get arrested.
What bad guy? The company owner.
And like the captain and the crew who are all part of
Oh, the captain and the crew are part of it.
it. Yes.
Damn, that's gangster.
Mm-hmm.
And that's your flight plan.
That's my fight plan.
Cool.
Yeah.
That's a movie you wanted to see as a kid, huh?
Yeah.
That makes it way better. Is that you're like, yo, I really wanted to see this. All right, well, tell me what you wanted to see. And you just told me. And that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's not this, but it's great. I love it. You definitely, I'll give you this. Jodie Foster's in it.
Right.
And there's a kid.
Right.
There's a missing kid.
Okay.
You ready for flight plan?
Yeah, okay. It's her daughter, right?
Huh?
Is it her daughter?
It's a daughter.
Okay.
I'll give you that too.
I remember some. I do remember.
You can tell. I can tell you. Yeah, you did. No, you definitely remember the trailer. I'm not. And also, the trailer is one of those movies that it set you up. It was like, hey, this is what the movie's about.
Yeah. It's like, what?
Or was it?
Kids lost on a plane?
So we see a subway passing real fast. The movie just starts. Subway's passing. You know, credits are rolling, and then it finally stops. Doors open. Flight plan.
Huh. Okay. That's a funny play. That's a funny way to start fight plan.
No, it's not like it comes across the big screen real big. It's like, you know, the credits are rolling and it comes across the side real small.
Yeah, that's right.
And it fades away.
Yeah. Okay. I thought it would be like it come in like the doors would open to the subway and you see fight plan and then someone would walk through it.
No. It wasn't like a big. No. Like the credits are off to the side.
Okay.
and then Flightplan already comes up.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not big. Yeah, I guess I made it look like Flightplan.
Yeah,
no, nigga.
the door's open. Flight plan.
Well, the door's open. Flightplan, but it's like, yeah, nigga, they subtly did it.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess if I'm setting the tone. All right. We see our lead. We see Jody.
Okay.
All right. She's sitting down on the step, like on the bench of the subway, like on the bench waiting for the subway, and she is traumatized. She's like. Also, I should emphasize, Jodie Foster can fucking act. Holy shit, this woman can act.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I should mention that because right then it ain't like right in the scene you're like, okay,
what's happening?
What's that? All right, well, who is this woman? What's going on?
Why is she traumatized?
Jesus Christ, she's definitely trying. I believe it.
Someone tried to kill Ronald Reagan for her.
Jodie Foster's that nigga, bro.
Yeah, that's how good at acting she is.
I mean, yeah, I don't have to explain it. Some people you already know.
Yeah.
I didn't say Jodie Foster. You were like, this movie gonna be good. It's like, what? It's Jodie Foster.
It's gonna at least be a good performance.
It's gonna be at least you know, like, well, I don't know what the movie's gonna be, but I know somebody's gonna act their ass off.
Yeah.
So she goes into a room where they keep dead bodies.
Okay.
Like one of those
morgues.
Yes.
Okay.
And she's keeping it together. She's trying not to cry. She's fucking. And then they go, ma'am, would you like some privacy? And she's like, and then she flashes back to being on the subway platform again, but she's with her husband this time. And they're smiling and they're laughing, all right? And then cuts back, she's back in the death room and she's all like, cuts back to her and her husband. They're walking home in the snow, okay? Then back, her looking at the just breathe, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's great. You're like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
What happened?
Aneurysm, probably.
She's in Germany. Also, by the way, she's in Germany.
Okay.
This is in Germany, by the way. I should mention that.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, you should, actually. Yeah. Because I was
not
picturing
Chicago
New York
or New York.
City.
I know. Because it feels like a New York, Chicago vibe, and nigga, this is Germany.
Okay.
So we're not, okay? It is snowing in Germany.
Okay.
Credits are still rolling. We're still in the beginning of the movie.
Right.
All right? They tell her, ma'am, it was too much trauma on your husband's head. We lost him. I'm sorry. Like that's why we lost him. And in the autopsy report, the dude's telling her, and he goes, just the fall was too high. She's like, so cut back to she's at her place with her husband, like back at her place with her husband, and they're in a courtyard, but they're like alone, right? And planes are flying over.
Okay.
Okay. And then cuts back to, and she's laying in bed with her daughter. And she's rubbing her head. And she's like, daughter's asleep. And she's just like trying not to cry. Jodie, she's just trying to keep it together.
Right.
Like it's cutting back to the past
and the
present.
present.
What the day the dude died.
Right.
And the present.
No, I figured.
You know
so
what I'm saying?
I'm waiting for him to die.
Yeah, but you know how he dies.
Yeah,
it's a fall.
Right, which
Okay.
makes this everything worse. Just show me the fall. Nobody's setting me up for this fall. This is awful.
Also, the movie's called Flightplan. Yeah. That's because I was watching the movie today going, damn, I forgot they set up the fuck out this one. This movie isn't just on a plane. Like, So she's laying in bed with a bunch. She's rubbing her head. Her little daughter has airplane, like she's 6. She's like a little 5 or something.
Right,
a little
young
kid.
yeah.
She's got one of those little things that's above.
Mobile?
Yeah. And it's airplanes.
Right.
Okay, so there's like little airplanes kind of all over her room, like, lit up.
Right.
And the Jodie, like, she's like she starts walking around the room. She gets up, she's walking around the room, she's looking around, and then she looks out the window, and there's these 2 men. Your kind of men. You know what kind of men I'm talking about. We talking about this brown. We talking about brown and then town. You know what I'm saying? And the town I'm talking about is Afghanistan. All right?
Well, no.
That's the town I'm talking about.
It's Germany, so they're probably Turkish.
Them niggas is brown. They look like you.
Yes.
All right?
Turkish.
They're at a window, and they're across the thing, and they're looking at her.
Right.
All right? And she's like, what the fuck? And then right then the daughter wakes. She's like, Mommy? And she's like, yeah. And she goes back to her daughter. And the mom's like, am I going to like the new place? She's like, oh, you're going to love it. We're going to share a room. And it's going to be in my old house where I grew up with my mom and dad, She's like, they're going back home to America,
Right.
She's like, go to sleep. You got a big day tomorrow. And then she goes back out to look out the window again. 2 dudes are gone.
All right, brown dudes, what are you up to?
So she's lives in a really nice place. They show the place is nice. She's clearly doing well, and she's getting her shit together. Her name, she has a badge, like an airport, like clearly has airport clearance and shit.
Right.
And her name's Kyle Pratt. Okay.
Kyle.
And the daughter is Julia Pratt. Okay. She calls her Jules. So they're all packed up. The next morning, the house is empty. You know what I mean? They're clearly moving
They're
out
ready
because
to go because the dad died.
just died.
Yeah.
You know what? Also, I get not want to live there anymore.
Yeah. This is the exactly opposite for the people in Chucky.
Yeah, dude. It's the exact-
Where
yeah, you know how you're like, hey, we gotta get the fuck out of here because my loved one died.
Yeah. They were like, nope, the body's still down there. We're going to bed, baby.
We're waking up tomorrow.
Yeah, tuck it in, people.
And I'm not even gonna talk about my dead friend.
Yeah.
So I love how this movie has you on edge, don't it?
Yeah.
You're like, what the fuck? Because it's not the movie they showed in the trailer.
Yeah.
So
get on the plane already. That's how I feel.
I know, right? Because and don't you hate when you know something's coming? It's like, well, you motherfuckers.
Well, it's gonna be most. I'm just guessing if this movie isn't mostly plain, I'm gonna be mad.
What if it's really good?
I don't give a fuck.
It's called Fightplan. You're right.
Fightplan. It's gotta be mostly plain.
So
if it would be like if the Fast and the Furious was called, "Hey, we're walking around everywhere."
Yeah.
Like give me what I want.
So, the daughter says she's so scared. It's snowing really hard. She's so scared she doesn't want to go.
Right.
And then she goes, what if Jodie's being all mommy. She's like, what if she's such a good actress. She's like, what if I hid you under my coat the whole way? And the daughter's like, the whole way? She's like, I promise I'll hide you right under here. Nothing will hit you, She's like, okay. So they load up in the car. She's got her under her coat, being all cute.
Right.
And then they get in the car and the daughter's like, how's the food going to be? And she's like, oh, you mean at the airport? We'll get something to eat. And she goes, no, in America with grandma and grandpa. And she laughs. She's like, oh, it's going to be great food. I promise. I grew up, you're going to love it. Don't worry. And she's like, okay, will they have toast? She's like, they'll have toast, like just real cute. And they finally get to the Berlin airport. All right. And they get in there, and then she's waiting in line at the international. How crazy that part is
right.
at the airport always.
Right.
And she loses her. Julia! Pure panic, bro. Right. I mean that the airport's so busy, especially the international part. It's just huge, and there's just people everywhere, and just different languages being, what I mean? And it's just like, and she's panicking, and she finally she breathes, and she starts really looking, and she sees her. She's like at a store, like picking at toys and shit, and she runs over. She's like, Julia, how many times do I say don't wander from me in public? How many times? And the daughter's like, I'm sorry, Mama, I'm sorry. She's like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're sorry. You worry me. You realize what can happen. You understand? And she's like, I'm sorry. She's like, it's okay. It's okay. She looks, she's like, what snack do you want? And the daughter's like, it kind of smiles again. And bro, the acting, you know what I mean? Just the level of just like, damn, this woman can act.
It.
Oh, you're in it. So they get to where they're waiting. Now they're waiting for in the waiting terminal. And they're talking about their gate, and they're talking about how big the plane is that they're flying on. It's really big.
Right.
It's it's 474 or whatever. It's just some big, really luxurious plane. And she goes, did you make it, Mama? And she goes, well, I didn't make it, but you see the engines? And she points at the engines. She's like, I work on those. That's what your mom does, And she's like, I make sure those work. That's my job. So she's like, it's my job just to make sure the engines can handle the plane and make sure it flies.
She's a
flight engineer. Yes. So, yeah. So women can do stuff, buddy. I know you don't want to believe that. You always say that. Yes, they can. Yes,
no, they can't.
She's a flight engineer.
Women can't do stuff, and they shouldn't drive, and should all be covered head to toe.
Hassan Ahmad and his daily thoughts.
Yeah, the Hassan Ahmad stance.
So, the daughter asks, well, what if we fall? And the mom goes, oh, we're not going to fall. Don't worry. And then she goes, but we could. And the mom's like, well, if you put it like that. Well, I let Jodie Foster act because her acting is like, if we're gonna,
I guess we're gonna die, huh?
A little bitch.
Yeah.
That's how you want to look at life. So, plane is huge.
Right.
One of these fancy ass double decker kind of. I've been on one of these planes too because I went to Hawaii once, and it's like these just monstrous planes, and they're so fancy.
Right.
And her and her daughter, they got to board super early, obviously, because of their status.
Right.
So they board first.
Right.
And the video's playing, continues like, welcome to Alto Airlines, And the little girl finds a little toy plane under her seat, and she's playing with it. And then other kids, you see other kids her age come in, and they're arguing and fighting each other and being a hassle. And you see the whole plane start to get sad, right? As Jodie's just kind of watching.
Right.
And she's just kind of watching everybody. You see everybody getting sad.
And they're sitting near the front. Are they sitting near the front?
No, they're sitting kind of in the back.
Okay.
Backish middle.
Okay.
Towards the back.
Okay.
But I mean, it's a double. This plane's huge.
Right, double decker. Yeah. The ones with the bathrooms are in the middle.
Oh yeah,
too.
the middle, first class in the front. There's a couple of different first class. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like it's a lounge area, like all that kind of shit. So you see, right then she sees a bunch of your kind of men boarding the plane.
Go us.
Flightplan.
Go us. Go us. Go us.
It's called Flightplan.
Yeah, right. It's probably what? Us on planes? Come on. We're probably the good guys.
Yeah. We see, so we see another guy, and it's a guy you recognize. And he's been in a million things, but I don't know him. You don't know him from anything. But his last name's like, he's a famous, he's like Peter Skarsgård or whatever.
Oh, he's one of those Alexander Skarsgård or Peter Skarsgård or
He's
Gallagher
him.
Skarsgård.
Yeah, he's one of them niggas.
Okay.
All right.
Bill, whatever.
Skarsgård.
All the Skarsgårds.
All the Skarsgårds.
Okay.
So, but you reckon he's in a lot of shit. I mean, he's in a fuck ton of
well,
shit.
all the Skarsgårds look similar, too.
Yeah, they all look similar, and they all work. I'll give him that. Them niggas be working.
Yeah.
So he's asking the stewardess questions and kind of flirting with her and checking her out. And then he says something to Jody, because they're sitting next to each other. He says something to Jody, just like offhand, and like he's just kind of talking, he's being nice. And then we see our captain of the plane, Ned Stark.
Oh.
Boromir from Lord of the Rings.
Sean Bean.
Sean Bean.
So he's going to die.
Why you say that?
He always dies. That's Sean Bean's
Wow, look at you trying to
Bean always
conspiracy
dies.
aside. Maybe we'll see.
Sean Bean always dies.
Ned Stark never dies.
No, he dies like not. He doesn't even make it a full season.
God, he makes it like a couple episodes. So
He makes like 10 episodes, but he doesn't make it a full season.
that's
He
what's
makes
like 8. No, it makes it like it's 10 episodes. He makes it like 8.
8. Yeah. And then he only lasts one Lord of the Rings.
Oh God, yeah, but he kills it in all of it.
Sean Bond.
He kills it in this. So
Dies. He'll die.
they talk about how cold it is outside
Right.
and how dangerous it is to fly and all this stuff, right? So we're seeing a stewardess. She's going through the plane. She's doing a count with a clicker, like an old school clicker, just like we have at the Comedy Store.
Right.
Fucking. So Jody's telling her daughter how right now they're knocking the ice off the wings because it's snowing hard, knocking ice off the wings so to make sure it flies proper because of the weight with the whoop. And the daughter's like, And then as they're looking and she's saying all this, you see a casket, like because they're pushing this, you see a casket getting pushed into the thing, and then the daughter gets real sad. And then she's like, just sleep, honey. When you wake, we're going to be in New York. And the daughter's like, Daddy too? And she's like, yeah, Daddy too.
Oh, shit.
She kisses her. What?
Their dead dad's flying with him?
Well, yeah, that's why they're going back to America.
Oh, fuck.
This movie's heavy. You've got the dad already?
No, but not that. I thought that would be more of a backstory than he would actually be on the plane with them.
No, that's the reason. I mean, they're going to bury him.
Okay. I thought they had already buried him and their time to start a new life.
No, they're definitely starting a new life, but they're like, well, we got to get the fuck out of here and let's go bury him in the place where he's from.
Yeah.
So, plane takes off. Well, like as she's watching that, you see the little girl. Like as the plane's about to take off, you see the little girl. She's looking out the window. She's all sad, and she draws like a little heart on the window, right? Like a little heart, like in the fog because it's cold and it fades away. And then the mom's just looking at her. She kisses her. So the plane takes off, and you see the casket downstairs. You know what I mean? Real intense, just like
Right. Something's up.
Well, no, it's just
He's alive.
The plane, no.
He's alive. Oh my God, that's what a twist.
Relax.
What a twist.
Relax,
Oh my God, his dad's
relax.
been alive the whole time.
Can you calm down for a second, buddy?
Yeah.
Will you calm down
Can we
for
just
me?
skip to the part where he's alive?
Will you calm down for me?
Okay. He's alive. Yes.
Plane's taking off. And as you would think, the luggage and the things down at the bottom are shaking.
Right.
But Hassan, let you believe
because
what
the
you want.
luggage is alive.
okay. Relax, dude. There's dogs in all the luggage. You're like, dude, you gotta calm down.
All right, so the luggage is like flying around.
Relax.
The luggage, because it's alive with bats.
So the mom, the daughter's, the plane's taking off. She goes, hey, when we get in the air, do you want to, she's like, there's a couple rows in the back, completely empty. Do you want to go have a whole row to ourselves? We can stretch out and sleep. And the daughter's like, yeah. She's like, okay, So they get up there, and, she's just holding her, and then they go back. Time passes. It's dark on the plane now. And Jody wakes up, and she's like, oh. She's like, honey, I fell asleep. She looks over. Daughter's gone. She's looking up. It's dark on everyone's sleep. It's clearly that kind of, that part of the flight, because you've been up there where it's just like, there's a part of the flight. I'm sure, I've never been international, but I'm just talking even like a long flight. I know that there's a part of the flight where if you do wake up and look around, everybody's not, unanimous. Everyone's pretty knocked out.
Yeah.
So she's like, what the fuck? She gets up, she starts looking, not panic yet. She's just looking around. She's just like, she goes back to the other seat they were in earlier. She's not there. She's like, what? And then the homeboy's awake. He's watching the movie.
Right.
The Skarsgård guy. He's watching the movie. And then he sees her because she's the only one up. And he's like, are you watching this movie? It's fucking terrible. Like, he's just trying to talk to her, right? This movie's fucking terrible. And then she's like, have you seen my daughter? And he's like, no, what? And then she's like, she's like, how long? She's like, I'm sorry. She's like, how long have we been, up in the air? And he's like, oh, only about 3 hours. And she's like, okay. She walks off. She starts checking all the bathrooms. All right, she's checking everywhere. Nothing. And then she goes up to a steward. And she's like, hey, I'm looking for my daughter. Have you seen a little girl? And the steward's like, oh, yeah, there's a little girl hanging out right over here in the lounge by herself. And she's like, oh, thank God. And she goes over to the lounge. It's not her. It's a different little girl. And she's like, I'm sorry, that's not her.
So there's another parent freaking out kind of right now.
That girl's way older. That girl's like a teenager.
Okay.
That girl's like 12, 13.
Okay.
But maybe.
Maybe.
That's still the age where I wake up, my 12, 13-year-old's not there. I would be like... there'd be a time. I probably wouldn't panic, of course. I wouldn't panic, but there'd be a time limit before I'd get up. Probably like a minute or two before I'd get up and being like,
what's up?
Where is she? I just got to know where she is. And once I know, I'll walk back and that's fine. She's 12, she's 13.
Yeah.
So, she's checking everywhere, and the stewardess says, no. And then she tells her, like, hey, I was carrying her when I walked on the plane. And she's like, did you see her? And the stewardess is like, oh, yeah, I think so, but she hasn't been up here, She's like, okay. And so, she's still going around. She's checking everywhere. And then she's talking to another steward. The stewardess like, no, she hasn't been here. And then she's like, it's okay. She's probably just found some kids to play with. Because she's checking this humongous plane.
Right.
She's like, she probably just found some kids to play with. She's just playing. So she's staying calm, And the stewardesses are kind of watching her like, oh, hope everything's all right. Like, you know what I mean? Like, oh, what the fuck? This may be a thing. Or she's crazy, but something's going on. But nothing, I don't know. Because there's no panic yet. So she keeps looking for her daughter. She's just looking and looking. And the workers are still all doing their job. The stewardess are like serving out drinks. You know what I mean? Everybody's doing their thing. It's no panic yet.
Right.
And the mom's like, she's going to turn up. She's telling me she's going to turn up. She's checking all the other bathrooms still. There's other bathrooms upstairs. Whole other row. Nothing.
Jesus.
All right?
Yeah.
I know. They build it. So she goes back to where they slept.
Can't think of anything more terrifying than losing your kid.
Oh, Lord.
That's the
imagine losing them on a confined space where there's like, well, fuck, there's got to be, she's on this motherfucker.
It has to be, right?
So she goes back to...
My boss is setting me up.
All right, relax.
And my husband's alive.
Dude, you gotta stop doing ecstasy before we do this. You're just rubbing your nipples like,
He's alive.
So she goes back to where they were sleeping.
Right.
She's like, what the fuck? And then she goes through her blanket and she grabs it and her teddy bear is there. And then that's when she's like, she wouldn't walk. She wouldn't fucking go anywhere without this teddy bear, And then she goes to someone. She goes, so something's wrong. She goes, I'm looking for my daughter. And then the other steward is like, okay, well, how old is she? She's like, she's 6. And then she's like, well, did you see her? Did anybody see her? And everyone's like, no, I didn't see her. I never saw her, because they boarded first. So the stewardess are like get involved. They go, hey, they make an announcement over the intercom. Hey, we have a 6-year-old girl that we're looking for. Her name's Julia Pratt. Please let us know if you've seen her. She's kind of being like nonchalant about it too, because also she's trying to start a panic. She's like, hey, if you see her, just please make an announcement. Just hit your call button. Just like 6-year-old Julia Pratt, right? And the mom's Jody's like keeping it together, but you can tell at this point she's like, well, I get it because it's just like, all right, it's been too long. What the fuck's going on?
Right.
Let me find her now. So the captain is, you see our boy Sean Bean and the co-captain. The co-captain is hearing the announcement and making fun of it. Like, oh, these goddamn kids on these planes should just wear cowbells. How could you get lost? And Sean Bean doesn't say anything. All right. Our boy Ned Stark, he's quiet. He's Ned about it.
Right.
So,
because he has to deal with the fact that he's gonna die at the end of this movie. He's trying to like.
Well, you don't even know why he's gonna die. How is it good? You don't know what's going on.
No, I don't know what's going on, but I'm sure he's gonna die.
So, what do you think? He's good or bad?
I could be wrong.
If you had to guess.
I'm gonna say bad. I said bad in my guess, and I'm sticking with my guess.
Also, it makes sense. Like, how would this go off the captain?
Someone has to be in on it.
How would it not be
right?
So,
and does he usually play bad guys? He's a very typecast. That's why.
I mean, Ned Stark's good, and Boromir's bad, but ends good. That's what makes Boromir so good. That's a lot of range in that movie, though.
Yeah,
he has range. What am I saying? He's a great actor. So she's talking to the stewardess, like now Jodie Foster's talking to the stewardess. She's in a panic. She's like, yo, we need to search the whole plane, top to bottom, whoop to whoop. And she starts saying every single compartment of the plane because she built the fucking engine. So she knows.
She knows all of it.
Every centimeter of the plane, she knows. You know what I mean? And she's like, yo, we got to search this. We got to search that. And, you know, they're all looking at her like, how the fuck do you know all this? You know what I mean? And then she's trying not to break down. Acting. She's completely trying not to cry. And then they tell her, hey, man, you're going to have to go back to your seat, but we will personally speak to the captain and see if we can help. So she goes back to her seat, and she's like, she's panting. I mean, she's like, what the fuck? And she's talking to a young stewardess. And the young stewardess is telling her, like, man, that's so crazy. You know all this stuff about the plane. Like, what do you do? What do you do? And then she's like, hey, I know your job is to keep me calm, but my problem right now is my missing daughter. And no one is telling me where the hell she is. Like, you know, she's like,
right. She's now.
Back the fuck up, lady.
Right.
I know what you're, and also she's like, I know your job, but I know, back up.
Right.
Which I get too, of like, hey, I can give the words out of your mouth aren't where my daughter is, so they're meaningless.
Yeah.
So, you know, the stewardess says, like, you know, she's talking, just trying to keep her calm, like, oh God, you know, and then the passenger in front of her, says, like, I didn't notice that you had a kid, like, just like genuine, like, I didn't notice that you had a kid with you, you know? And then, you know, her kid's like, oh, can we help look? And the other parents are like, no, you're not going to help look. You sit back down. You know what I mean?
Right. If a kid did disappear, we're not going to
send you anywhere. You're fucking sitting right here. I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
So
there's some molesty-ass passenger out there. I don't know what's going on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Jody notices one of the stewardesses on the phone, like, in a panic. And then she's like, hey, what's going on? What's going on? And the other stewardess is like, oh, calm down, man, calm down. She's like, tell me. And she runs over. She's like, tell me what's going on. They're like, Miss Pratt, I'm sorry. She's like, what's going on? You tell me right now. And she was like, I don't think your daughter was here. And she goes, what? And they go, ma'am, we don't have any record of her boarding on this plane. And then she, you know what I mean? Just full. And then she goes, what are you talking about? And they're like, ma'am, we never checked a Julia Pratt onto this plane. And they go, she was next to me. She was like, we were the first two on the plane. You know, she was like, I was carrying her. And she was like, we walked right past you. And she pointed at the stewardess. And the young stewardess is like she's like, she has no idea. She's like, what the fuck? Lady, I don't know.
Right.
She's like, we walked right past you. You know, and which I get. She's like, lady, what the fuck? Don't play with me.
It's wild. Yeah,
you know?
wild.
So, but it's like, you know, so the lady, says the lady who did the count says, ma'am, we just did another count. Every single person is present on board. Your daughter was not on this flight. I'm sorry, you know. And then she goes, I put my boarding. She's like, I have her boarding pass. And she goes, well, please, you know. And she goes, she said and she runs back to her seat because it's not in her pockets. And then she goes, her backpack's not here. She goes, her backpack's not in the top thing. And they go, well, ma'am, she goes, there's no way she could reach this. She's 6 years old. There's no way she could reach. Somebody's has my daughter. Like, she's in full panic mode, which, like, cause you know, she's like, I don't have the tickets. Her backpack's gone.
Right.
What the fuck? And then they go, ma'am. She goes, I have to talk to the captain. And then they go, ma'am, you have to calm down. Ma'am, you have to relax. She goes, I have to talk to the captain. People do sick things to little girls. You know that. People do sick things to little girls. And she fucking takes off running towards the door. And they're like, ma'am. And now she's sprinting towards the fucking, which I get. I'm not mad at her. This is that point of panic where you're like, hey.
The other passengers must be.
Oh, of course. Everybody's like, what the fuck is that? There's a woman sprinting towards the door.
Right.
And screaming about her daughter's missing.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
And nobody saw her have it. Like,
no.
Yeah. So.
And she sat near the back, so, like, no one's looking.
No one's looking. So she's like, I need to talk to him. She runs up to the front, and they're all like, stop. She gets to she's banging on the captain. Captain, my daughter's missing. I need to talk to you right then. Bam! She gets slammed on the door. Boom! You know what I mean? Face first. You know, and she's like, ma'am, and it's our boy, Skarsgård.
Right.
Ma'am, I'm the air marshal. I'm gonna need you to calm down. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's like not nice. Now he's like, whoa, what the fuck? You know? And you didn't figure he was gonna be the air marshal?
No.
You didn't? You thought he was just a passenger?
I thought he was just a guy who was part of this movie.
Interesting. No, he's our air marshal. Of
course, there has to be an air marshal. There's an air marshal on every flight.
Especially a big plane like that. Ain't no way you're not having an air marshal. That's too big.
Right.
So,
is it?
But there's air marshal every flight.
Every flight or every like commercial flight?
I believe every commercial flight, if I'm not mistaken. Every commercial flight. So, you know, the air marshal, he turns around. He's like, ma'am. You know, she goes, I'm not a threat. He goes, okay, I know you're not. He's like, my name's Gene Carson. He's like, I don't want you hurt. She's like, but you need to calm. He's like, you need to calm down. And she's like, but I need to see the captain. And he goes, well, ma'am, that's his call. He will see you if he wants to. She's like, okay. She backs up. It's like off the door, and he, you know what I mean? Like he's like, all right, like it is definitely like, oh, if this is a man, this would never. Actually, no, even a woman in this day and age, she'd have got fucked up, tased, and knocked out,
right,
cold,
right.
You know?
Yeah. If it was a black man, he would have been shot.
Oh, dead. They shot him right in the fucking back of his head.
Right.
So, and then they would have raped his daughter probably because that's how it goes. So,
Kill a Mockingbird 2.
Right? Come on. So Ned Stark finally comes out.
Yeah.
Okay, he finally comes out because they tell him, somebody tells him he comes out. And now the mom, Jodie Foster's telling him everything. She's telling him what's up, what happened, all these things. And he's asking the young stewardess, like all the stewardesses, like if they saw her, nobody's like, I don't remember, I know, and all these things. And then she's like, well, did you tell me about the bear? I found her bear. Why would her, have her bear? And he was like, it was under her blanket. And then he goes, ma'am, have you been drinking, Miss Pratt? And she's like, no, I haven't had a single drink. She's like, any medication? She's like, I have sleeping pills on me, and I have Klonopin for anxiety. And then he's like, ma'am, are you on anything right now? She's like, I took 2 Klonopin because, she's like, and he's like, when did you fill your prescription? She's like, I filled it last week when my husband died. And he's like, and she gets real sad. She's like, my daughter and I are bringing him back. He fell 6 days ago from the roof of our apartment. She's just trying to hold it together. Like, you can tell she's also just like,
yeah. She's
like, what is happening? What too much is happening.
Yeah.
Too much is happening. Too much is happening. So, and also, if I'm her, too, like, this too much is happening that it's almost like what, you know what I mean? Something's up. When you feel that way, if you heard, like, this is just too much. It's too much. I'm on a plane. My dog. What the fuck?
Right. Something's up.
So they tell the captain, like, like, it's like that no one saw her, right? Mm-hmm. And then the passenger saw her. No one said anything. And then they asked Mr. Carr. They asked the air marshal, "Did you see his daughter? You were sitting next to her." And he was like, "I didn't see a little girl. I'm sorry." He's like, "I'm sorry. I didn't see it." And then right then she goes, "You're suggesting, Captain, that I imagined her bringing her on board. That's what I did, and that's what I'm doing. I'm doing all this for attention. Is that what you're saying?" And then she starts telling him all about, since 9/11, all the protocol that because she knows planes, so there's all this protocol that if a person is missing on a plane, there's protocol for it. And she's like, you're supposed to do this, and all these things. And she was like, and I want you to treat this like if this was your own child missing, right? Which I mean, I get. She's going off.
Yeah.
Why'd you roll your eyes at that?
Yeah, because it's like, of course that's what she wants, but he's thinking, why the fuck would I do this?
Well, he's a businessman.
Yeah.
I thought you rolled your eyes, but I mean, I am on
from his perspective.
From his perspective, yeah. It's like, but you also got to think of like if from a parent's perspective, they would probably act this way.
Right.
They would be behaving like this, erratic. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't expect rational behavior.
No. But
because if they were, then something would really be up. If they're being rational about it and like calm.
Well, yeah. It's she's in a bad spot right now.
She's in a very bad spot.
She's in a bad spot.
She's in a very bad spot.
She has to get someone to believe her, but right now I don't see that path.
Well, because none of it makes sense.
Right.
None of it makes sense. Everyone didn't see it, kids. So it's like you cared. I mean, you cared. I mean,
Yeah, it's a kid. How in your mind you're thinking, how are people gonna miss this?
They missed it. So she goes, she starts crying. She's like, I feel.
Doesn't help the air marshal doesn't believe her. Air marshal was sitting right next to her.
Yeah, he doesn't believe her. And she's like, I fell asleep. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have done it. But
that's definitely not your fault.
Yeah. I like how you're hard on the mom right now. So she's like, but she was next to me. And she's crying. I know she's crying. Somebody said, please help her. Please, somebody said help her, right? So, right then the captain, he goes, our boy Ned Stark, he's like, hold on all the lights. See every passenger in their seat. We're going to check every closet, every bin, the plane, top to bottom. He goes, we're going to, any questions you come to, me, all that stuff, right?
Right.
And she's like, thank you. So right then they they check all the bathrooms and lock them, and they make every passenger sit down.
Right.
Like you have to. People are of course throwing a fucking fit, bro.
Yeah.
Especially all the people in first class. They're like, this is crazy.
We paid extra money. Yada.
All that stuff. So and they're making them check everything. So the stewardess are, they're pissed because they have to now. They're going like this is the whole plane.
Right? It's a big ass plane.
Oh my God, it's huge.
A lot of nooks and crannies.
So they're making them check below the plane. They're going through the whole thing where the generators are and like all the stuff. They're looking. Anyone here? Hello? Nothing. They're checking all the sides, all the fucking big compartments, like everything, up, down, like wing, everything. So
what the fuck is this?
The Carson guy,
he's
staying with Jodie, right? He's he's keeping an eye on her because the captain was like, you got to keep an eye on her.
Right.
And people are pissed that they have to stay in their seats, and he's just watching her. So she's getting on to Carson. She's like, you better figure this out. You better figure this out. She's like, if someone took my daughter and if someone did something to her, could you imagine that the only person on law enforcement whose job is to protect the people on this plane, he didn't do anything because he had the mom under arrest. And then he's like, ma'am. And she goes, and something happened to her. She's like, ma'am, you made your point. Okay. we're trying to find, like, he's trying to just like, I know.
Right.
Because also she's like, it is true. It's like, man, if something did it, if they find the daughter and she was like murdered or molested or some shit, it's like, you're fucked, bro. You don't get to be in law enforcement anymore. That's your job. You can't have a kid getting molested on the plane you were on while you were watching a movie.
I will say this though, there's some good molesters who could probably get it done.
Yeah, but people lose their job for that.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's literally how you lose your job.
Yeah, that's fair.
If you were like anywhere involved and you were a cop.
Yeah, at this occasion, and she already came to you and she was like,
Oh, you're done, dude.
Right.
So they're checking, they're still checking, nothing. All right. But the stewardesses who are checking, they aren't taking it really serious. They're laughing, they're goofing. People are flirting with each other. You know what I'm saying? Because they're just like, what? They don't believe it.
Yeah.
You know?
She didn't have a fucking kid. She's just having a weird psychotic break.
So her and the Carson are walking through the plane, and she stops. She looks over, and it's our foreign boys.
My guys.
Your boys.
My guys.
And she's looking at him. And then she goes, you know, I know you from somewhere. Where do I know you from? And he's like, you've walked by me a few times, you know? And then she's looking at him, and then she doesn't believe him, and then she walks off, right? And then he looks over at his four buddies, and he's all like, and they're all kind of just looking at each other all serious. You know what I mean?
What are they planning?
So
a surprise birthday party. It's a surprise birthday party for the daughter, and the dad's alive.
It's for him, clearly. It's a surprise alive birthday party.
Yeah, that's part of the surprise. That the daughter thinks she's dead for 6 days.
So right as the mom's walking up, she catches two of the crew members goofing off.
Right.
And she's like,
loses her.
Oh,
goddamn
are you looking
mind.
for my daughter? Which I can imagine, because it's
Right,
like,
you are.
what motherfucker?
Yeah, dude.
At least don't goof off.
Well, at least don't goof off in front of her.
At least don't goof off.
Yeah.
Don't give me that. Give me 15 minutes of no goofing.
Right.
15.
Don't goof off behind her back.
Just
Go upstairs.
definitely look around before you
Right,
goof it, right?
right,
Give it a
right.
look. Give that like a racist, like over the shoulder.
Right.
You know, this work. I don't also want the captain to see me or I don't want
That's
anybody.
true. Yeah, no one who's above me can see me do this.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. It's
Right.
such a crisis mode. It's like, when does this ever happen on a plane? They fly on planes a million times a day.
That's true.
Nothing happens.
That's true. I've never heard a person go missing on a plane.
Come on, bro. It's crazy.
Right. That is
Other than this
crazy.
movie.
That is crazy. The fact that someone thinks that means like, oh, something's up. It's either like a girl is missing on a plane, or a woman is straight having a psychotic break, and both of those things are very serious.
They're like real.
Like real.
Real.
Because if there's a missing girl on the plane, there's a fucking missing girl on the plane.
And that means there's also a monster on this plane who's a
Right.
genius.
Yeah, who's find out how to take a girl from a fucking plane in the air. Or there's a woman who could hurt a bunch of people.
God, both are scared. Because right now, because in the movie though, you are at this point like,
And
I don't know.
And there's 4 brown guys.
There's 4 brown guys, and you don't know, bro. And I love this movie too, because everybody there's no point, like there's no tells. You know, this movie's always there's no tells. There's no like,
They're just like in the air.
you're like, what the fuck is this movie? So,
Pure mystery.
yeah, that's a psychological thriller is what this
Right.
movie was deemed as.
That makes sense.
So, she's searching. She says, she needs to search the hole. She needs to personally go down and search the holes where the luggage is and all that shit. And the captain's like, no, hell no, it's too dangerous. And then she's like, Captain, are you listening about my daughter? They need to be found. And then right then the air marshal's like, Captain, I think it's just best to let her search. It might, it'll calm her down. It'll calm the people on the plane are starting to freak out. You know what I mean? It's just like he's like on her like, hey, let's just
get
this is also intense. And she also, when she said the thing about the job, it did fuck him up.
Right.
Because it did make the fear of like, damn, what if there is a missing girl?
Right. That probably is he's probably the first person that's going to start to believe her.
All right, because he's a little nervous now.
Right,
he's
right.
like, this is
Oh,
what's going on.
Well, I gotta
he's at
hedge
least
my
like, what's
bets.
going on?
Right.
Yeah, and you gotta hedge your. At a certain point, you gotta hedge your bets.
Yeah.
So, the captain is like, hell no, she's a lunatic. I'm not letting her fucking. We don't even know if this is real. He's like, what we will do is search this craft from waist up, like we're doing, and if we find no one, my crew will go down and check. Right? That's Ned Stark saying this.
That's fair.
Okay, because it's too dangerous and all this stuff. And then he's going off on her about like, we don't even know if this child is real. Woo to woo. And then she goes, well, she's like, my daughter's. He's like, ma'am. He's getting frustrated now. Ned Stark's like, lady, because also he's the captain of the plane. It's like, and I'm out here, which is dangerous. You know, it's like,
Yeah, that's the whole. This is a post 9/11 world.
yeah. So it's like, what do you do? I'm just out
there's
here.
four brown
dudes looking around a little too serious.
Right.
So, and they got regular clothes on, not like terrorist clothes.
Yeah, that's scary.
Yeah, when the nigga got a North Face on.
Right. It's that Fahim joke. It's like, well, the real terrorist isn't gonna be wearing a turban.
Nah, that nigga don't have a latte in his hand.
Yeah.
So, you know, right then he goes, "Man, we're gonna do what we can, but you need to calm down and relax." And he tells Mr. Carson, "I want you to take Miss Pratt back to the passenger cabin, back to her seat, and you watch her from there." He's like, "Yes, sir." He's like, "Ma'am, Captain said, let's go." Like,
Yeah.
Is what it is. I have a job too.
Right.
And then she's like, she's pissed, and then right then she's pissed, and then the camera zooms in on her face, and she goes, and it goes real slow motion. She goes, "I know where I've seen him. I know where I've seen him!" And then she starts running, and they're like, man, they all start running, and then she's sprinting down the thing, and she goes right into the brown guy. She goes, "Where's my daughter?" And he's like, what, man, whoa, where's my daughter? And he's like, "Whoa, ma'am, I don't know." He's like, I saw you across the courtyard 2 days ago, staring at my daughter. I saw you. And then he's like, and then he's looking at her like, what the, you know what I'm saying? And then, now the whole plane is like standing up. Everybody's panicking. Like,
right.
Whoa, what's going on? What's going on? She's like, "I saw them. 2 of these men staring at my daughter's room a couple of nights ago. I saw you." And then right then a big redneck white dude gets up and he's like immediately on her side.
Yeah.
He's like, yo, not on some like hack shit though, like but on some just like, what'd they do? You know what I mean? What they did what? What do they mean? They took a daughter, like, you know what I'm saying? What'd they do to your daughter? Like what? And then and and he's like, I've never seen her. I've never seen this girl. I've never seen anything. And then the guy goes, "I was at the Hilton last night on business. Not that it was any that you need to know that." And then she's like, prove it. And he goes, "Neither one of us left to the hotel. I'll show you the bill." And then right then the Carson cop is like, "Sir, I think it would be best if you just showed the bill, if you actually have it.
Yeah.
It would just calm things down."
Ooh.
Right?
Do they have it?
And then the guy's like, he looks at his partner. He goes in his bag, pulls out the Hilton bill. They were at the Hilton all last night. So white people on the plane now, they don't believe them. They're like, "No, check them. They buy over the girl." And then the mom is like, "Where's my daughter? Where?" And then she attacks the guy, slams him down. "I know you have him. Where's the cop?" And now he's getting her off. Whole fight breaks out. And the brown guy, he gets up, he's looking at the plane, and they're all looking at him angry. They're angry at the brown guys now.
Right.
And they're, of course, all looking at the plane because they're like, and they're pissed. And then he goes, "If anyone else has any questions for me," he goes, because he had scratches all over, his like face is bleeding.
Right.
Does anyone else have any questions for me? Now's the time to ask them. And he looks around and he goes, "If not, you find some other Arabs to harass." And then right then the redneck guy goes, "Come here, buddy." Like he's like, "I know you got it," right? And he's like, and they have to stop him. So now there's a whole thing going on, right? And so the cop, he pulls Jodie Foster aside and he's like, sits her down. He's like, "Hey, so you got to think about this rationally." He's like, "I understand your daughter's missing, but you got to think with me for 2 seconds." He's yelling at her now. He's like, "How could have 2 passengers have pulled this off? How? Just let's go through the logistics." And he starts going through how there's no way passengers could have pulled this off. There's just no way. They have the manifest. They have like all these like and then she goes, "The crew's involved. The crew must be involved." And then he goes, "So you're telling me you want me to go arrest 2 or 4 Arab men and bring them in this day?" And then she goes, "I don't give a shit about political correctness. I don't care. My daughter's missing." And he goes, "Man, why would they take your daughter? Why? What does it make? What's so special by having your daughter, by having you? I don't understand. What's the point?" And then she goes, and it comes in and she's like, "I know the plane." And then he goes, "What?" She goes, "I know the plane. They picked me. They're hijacking the plane. I know the plane." And then he goes, "What?" And she goes, "My daughter's a hostage. I know the plane. They're going to hijack the plane." And then he's like, "Jeez, ma'am, that doesn't make any sense. You're talking crazy. It doesn't make any, look at you. You don't know what's going on."
Yeah.
You're like, "What the fuck is about to happen?"
Yeah. The fuck? I can't tell if these guys are actually going to hijack the plane or not.
I know you don't. I can't either. I couldn't either.
Yeah. Oh, God. I really hope they're not.
You want to be on their side, don't you?
Yeah.
Because you want to be on their side.
I want to be on their side.
So.
Because also, it's like, if they were trying to hijack the plane, how fucking unlucky.
Oh.
And they did, and like they said, they tried to hijack the plane and they didn't, like, kidnapped the daughter. She's like, man, that sucks. You did all that preparing.
Oh, they're preparing for this crazy mishap.
Yeah, right?
So, which also, who has the daughter, bro?
Right. That's a whole different thing. Jesus, what the fuck is happening?
So, you're
My Guys? Or have we got to My Guys?
No, not yet.
No, okay.
The guy is just like, oh my god, it makes sense. Your husband, jumped. Oh
What
my
a tasteless joke, huh?
Yeah, he goes, it makes sense. Because she's just going crazy. And he's like, because, at this point, he is like,
Right.
geez, lady,
Right.
what the fuck? He's like, I get why your husband jumped. Oh my God, you're acting like this. You're acting crazy. And she goes, he fell. David fell. And he's like, and then you can tell he's like, oh.
Yeah.
All right. Sorry. He pissed me off. I went too far. So right then, the captain turns the seatbelt sign off. People start getting up, go straight to the bathroom, all these things. And she's like, no, what is he doing? And she runs up, and the captain's coming out looking for her. And then he's like, ma'am. And then she's like, you're done looking for my daughter. Where's my daughter? He's like, ma'am, come to the back with me. Where's my daughter? He's like, Ned Stark's like, ma'am, come to the back. Ma'am, where's my daughter? He's like, ma'am, she's dead. Jody breaks down. What? You found her? No, I didn't. We have a letter. We have like a thing. Note from Kaiser Wilhelm Hospital where your husband died. She's like, your daughter was also there. No. She was with the nanny. And then he says, right here, time of death, 2:36, p.m. She internal bleeding from the fall. She fell off the roof with him. And then he's like trying to calm her down, like, you know this, right? And then she's like, no. Her world's just spinning. She was at the park. And she starts remembering everything from earlier, but like the daughter's not with her.
The fuck? What is happening?
She's like, what the? World spinning. She's
Right.
literally, camera spinning.
Right.
And then she's like, you're all crazy. She's like, she was on board. I carried her. And then they're like, I'm sorry, Miss Pratt. I'm sorry. Everybody's apologizing, Miss Starr. I'm sorry. And then he's like, but I'm responsible for the safety of these passengers. And he's like, I'm going to have to ask the air marshal to escort you back to your seat. She's like, and she's just crying now, pure scared. And the air marshal's taking her. He's like, I'm sorry, Miss Pratt. And then they're taking her back. Even the Ned Stark, he's like,
right, fuck. So that's heavy.
So right then, she's like, no, can't be, no. And she breaks off of him, and she starts running down the aisle, right? And then someone's like, stop her. Somebody grab her, stop her. And then she's running, and right then one of the Arab dude gets up, bam, slams her down. Poof, she hits her head on the thing. She passes out.
Well, the
Goes
Arab
black.
dude has a lot of pent-up anger. I get that.
I get him on her. I get he's like, stop her. He's like, oh, you need somebody to stop her?
Yeah.
I'll handle it.
Yeah.
Fucking Ray Lewis, that bitch. So
hit her and did the dance to the...
me fucking Merriman. He fucking lights down her.
Yeah.
So she wakes on the plane, right? Mm-hmm. And it's the Carson dude there, and it's another woman there, and they're asking her like, "Ma'am, are you okay? Miss Pratt, are you okay?" She's like, and everyone now on the plane, until time has gone by, everyone's kind of calm.
Right.
Everybody's like go doing other shit now.
Right.
The captain, she's like, "Ma'am, I'm a therapist. I'm sorry." The captain asks, to talk to you just to help. I'm just here to help if you want to talk. And then she's like, "No, I don't know you. I don't want to talk." And she's panicking. She's like, "Man, let me." She's telling her about grief and how it's all about allowing the pain to come in. That's how you handle things like this and all these things. And then she's asking about her husband. She's like, was he unhappy? And then she starts crying. She's like, yes. Yeah. Oh, Jody fought it. He was, but I didn't know. He didn't talk about it like that. And then she goes, last night I walked through the city and he was with me. He was there. And then the therapist goes, and Julia too? She goes, no. She was waiting for me at home. The therapist's like, okay. And then the therapist is like, saying all these things, and I know that they help and they make you feel okay, but what's really going to make you feel better, what's going to really help you get through this is just the truth. It's going to be so much better if your Jody starts crying, right? And she's like, to move on, you have to accept grief. And then Jodie starts looking out the window and she's crying. And she breathes really deep. And then when she breathes really deep, the fog goes, whoo, and the heart that her daughter drew from the beginning of the movie comes back up. And she's like, you know what I mean? Just full on, like, what? Who's fucking with me right now?
Right.
Which I love about this movie because you were like, what's going on? I saw it in your face like, yo.
Still on what's going on. But now, like,
But you didn't. But did you believe the daughter? What did you believe or no?
You know what? I felt like the heart was gonna come back and play at some point. Like that was gonna reveal.
Did you know right then?
Real. What?
Did you know it was coming right when it came?
No, not right when it came, but I knew it was coming up. I knew
it's
that
a good twist. It was a good setup and twist for it.
Yeah,
it was.
It was gonna be a thing where like she's like she is real. Then yeah.
Oh yeah. So
But then of course the people on the plane be like, oh, she drew that.
So her eyes get big, of course, and then she looks over. She's like, "Am I allowed to go to the restroom?" And they look at her, and she's like, "I just need to be alone." And then she's like, "I don't know where else to go." And the therapist's like, "That's fine. I think this is good." And the Carson's guy, you can tell he's like,
something's up.
You know, and she's like, "No." And the therapist's like, "No, this is good." So she goes to the bathroom, and she goes in. And then he takes the handcuffs off her, and he's like, "I will be waiting right here." And then she closes the door. Right then, she gets in, and she immediately knows how to climb up and out that motherfucker. Because she knows the plane.
Right.
So she knows all the latches left where they are, all this shit. You know what I'm saying? So she fucking pop, pop, pop. And then she's fucking out the fucking bathroom immediately. Right. And then she goes, and then there's like a little mainframe, like wiring thing, like where she's at.
Right.
And she goes, he bangs on the door. He's like, "Hey, are you okay?" And then she runs back, and she's like, "Just give me a minute, okay? Just give me a second." You know, and he's like, he's standing outside the door. And then she goes back in and she's fucking doing all the thing. And she hits some wiring shit and it drops all the gas masks. And the plane, of course. You know what I'm saying? Because, I mean, the fucking gas mask dropped.
Yeah, must be the scariest thing.
Oh, my God.
Did you know any stories of anyone who's been on the plane with the gas mask?
I don't know any of those.
I don't know anyone.
I don't want to know any of them.
No.
I'm good, bro. I'm good on that. That's too much. Just them dropping. Just on accident like that. Fuck that, bro.
Right.
So Stewart is trying to calm everybody. Like, everyone calm down. Just put your mask on. Put your mask on, but calm down. You know, yours first. And then, right then the Carson, he's just staring like, what the? And he puts the mask on. He's like, what the fuck? And then right then Jodie cuts another thing, wiring thing, and all the power, like all the electricity on the plane goes out. Plane's dark.
Right.
And it's like, and then everybody's now screaming. The redneck white guy stares, and he is like pointing at the Arabs, like, "No, what'd you do?" Like he's looking at the Arab dudes. Of course, and the Arab dudes are like, "What the fuck is going on?" as well.
Right.
All right. So Jodie, like, because now the Carson guy is dealing with the Arab guys, like, the redneck guy trying to fight the Arabs. So he's dealing with breaking up that. She looks out, she sneaks out.
Right.
All right.
Good plan. Good plan.
Hell is breaking out on this plane.
Right. Clearly.
Jodie gets to the bottom of the plane where she wanted to go. Where the captain wouldn't let her, remember?
Yeah.
So the captain, he runs up, he goes, "Where is she?" And then they open the door, she's gone. He's like, "Find her! Find her!" Ned Stark, he's like, "Find her right now!" You know what I mean? So she gets to the bottom area. She's like, Julia! And then she sees a car. And she fucking climbs over to it. And she fucking breaks the window. She gets inside. Nothing. Julia! And she pops the trunk. She gets to the back, opens it. Nothing. She keeps looking around. Julia! She sees the casket. She's like, "Oh, Julia, no." And she runs up to it and she puts a little code in. It opens. It's just her dead husband. She's like, no, David, no. Honey, I'm so scared. I can't find her, honey. No one will help me and I can't find her, please. Turn around. Hands up, turn around, Julia. I mean, turn around, Kyle, turn around. She turns around and then it's the Carson dude. And he's now pissed on, And he's like, "Ma'am, I need you to put your hands up. I need you to walk towards me." She's like, "I'm not done looking yet." And he's like, "Ma'am," and he runs up and he puts the cuffs on her. And then she's like, and then she feel the plane. And she's like, "Why are we descending? Why are we descending?" And he's like, "Because there is a crazy passenger on board who is ruining the plane."
Yeah, fair.
The captain has no choice but to land us.
Right.
She's like, "But you can't." And she's like, "Well, we're gonna find my daughter and all this and that, And then he's like, "Ma'am, my job now is you. You are now the problem on this plane."
Right.
You know what I mean? That's
right.
Which is also true. The captain would have to land. It's like, oh, there's a fucking terrorist on the plane. A white lady looking for her daughter.
Right.
She's become a terrorist.
Right. Okay. Here's I guess this is my question now, not knowing the end of the movie. Because I was like, what's the end goal of the guy? But I was like, of course we don't know the end goal of the guy. Right. But I was like, eventually they're going to get to video of her at the airport with her kid. Right? So eventually it's going to be found out there is a kid on this.
And then where's that fucking kid?
Yeah, so what's the end goal of this? Anyways.
And how? I'm always more about the how. I always like the Shawshank, show me the how this motherfucker pulled it off.
Right. I realized that we were going to answer these questions coming up. That's why I thought, I was like, oh, this is kind of a stupid question. But this is what I thought of.
I feel you.
It's like eventually there will be, like, there is a kid. There's like, they should have phoned the airport to begin with and been like,
oh, this movie's awesome, bro. That's why, because the keys the whole time. You're like,
what the fuck?
What the fuck?
What the fuck?
That's what makes this movie awesome.
Right.
Did very well at the box office, by the way. Extremely well.
Well,
for this movie,
it got me interested. I wanted to watch it.
As a kid, yeah, me too. I did too. I wanted to go see it as well. I didn't see it in theaters, but the moment it was on TV, I remembered it, and I was like, "Ooh, it's that Fightplan movie." Yep,
I remember. I remember it was called Fightplan.
And I remember Jodie Foster was in it.
Yeah, I remember Jodie Foster.
Exactly.
It was a girl.
Yeah. So.
And the dad's alive.
Okay, Hassan, relax. Will you calm the fuck down?
Yeah.
So.
The dad just pretend to be dead.
They're
going
going
up in the casket.
They're going back up, like the little elevator thing towards where the seats are.
Right.
Right. And then she's like, "How come there's only one coffin?" And the cop looks at her. She's like, "If my daughter was dead, why wouldn't there be two coffins?" And then she's like, "That makes no sense." He's like, "Ma'am, I don't care, but..."
Ooh, she says the right things to fuck him up.
Yeah, because you can tell he was like,
Yeah, right, huh.
But he's also still at that point, like, I have a job from the captain, and you're fucking a problem.
Right. I'm like, in terms of like why he wouldn't believe her, I'm reading this book right now, this Malcolm Gladwell guy, the guy who wrote Outliers. He said how like people don't believe people are lying, like strangers are lying, until they 100% can't doubt him anymore. So even if there's a little bit of doubt, they're not going to believe that people are lying. They need the 100% not doubt. And that's why Jerry Sandusky was able to rape all those kids for all those years.
Whoa.
Yeah, because everyone believed that he was a good guy, and it took 100%.
We were not talking about that.
Yeah. Same thing. He uses that and the Larry Nassar case, the other guy who was molesting all those
gymnasts. I know who these people are.
Yeah.
Not what we were talking about.
Yeah. But no, it's the same thing. That's what I'm saying. You need 100% doubt. She's only inspired a little doubt in him.
Mustache.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Yeah, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
With the molestation. You're right. I know.
Right.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same
so, okay, we get it. We get
Same exact situation.
All right, you gotta stop. You gotta stop. So, oh, God, you're a crazy person.
I mean, it's true, though.
So he's like, "Hey, ma'am, you scared everyone. I don't care about that. I'm just doing my job."
Right.
She's like, "My daughter's alive. My daughter's alive." And then he's like, "Man, why did no one see her? How did no one see her?" And then he's like, when we land, you will be arrested, right? And then they're walking her through the cabin. As they're walking her through, everyone is terrified of it. They're all like, "This is the psycho bitch." And then when they get to the back, people even start slow clapping for her arrest her, like looking like, yeah, because she's in the cuffs. And then everyone's just staring at her. Even the white redneck dude, he's staring at her, but he's like pissed, but he's confused. You can tell he's like, what the fuck is happening?
Right.
So she looks at him. She goes, "If you let them arrest me, she's gone forever. That's it. No one's going to look for her. There'll be no one to save her. Please, I'm begging you, please." And he's sitting there and he's listening and he's just like, when that you've seen it when actors just like,
something's up.
What the fuck, So he calls the stewardess over and he goes, "Hey, I need to talk to the captain." And the stewardess is like, "What?" He's like, "I need to talk to the captain." He's like, "Can you please just watch her until I'm back?" And she's like, "Oh, I can't do it." He's like, "Please, I'll be right back. Just watch her until I'm back." He's like, "I have to talk to him." So he goes up to like where the captain was, and then he kind of makes a right, and goes into a different area. And then he closes a bunch of curtains, and then he closes some doors, and then he goes up to the hold, and he goes to like keep looking. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So the stewardess is talking to her, trying to be nice. She's like, "Are you hungry? Have you eaten anything? Are you hurt?" And then right then, Jodie, she's looking out the window and she's just kind of shaking. And she goes, "What part of the plane did you search?" And the stewardess' eyes get real big. She's like, "What?" She's like, "When the crew searched, where did you exactly look? Did you look at..." She starts naming the plane because she knows. She's like, "Where did you search?" And the stewardess is like, "Ma'am, I'm sorry for your loss, and I'm sorry that this is all happening to you." And then Jodie's just kind of looking at her like, "You fucking, what's up, bitch?" You know what I'm saying? Why don't you just answer my question?
Yeah, you're part of this.
So Carson, he's now at the casket. He's looking at it. And he opens it up. And then he removes some of the stitching. And he grabs 4 little boxes and a little gold thing. And then he puts it all together. And he sets it up, and you see him walking. And then you see him look over where the monitors are, like all these, like this down, you know, where these down place where the monitors were, where they looked earlier in the movie.
Right.
And he looks like there's like a little extra part where you look over and you see the girl sleeping, and then he puts the little bomb right next to it, and he grabs the detonator, and he goes walking back up.
He's a bad guy.
Thought it was Ned Stark, huh?
Thought it was Ned Stark.
I know they make you think it's Ned Stark.
Yeah.
You think it's Ned Stark. Also, it's like, of course Ned Stark's the bad guy.
Right.
Because also, there's no way the captain's not the bad guy.
Right. There's no captain's not in on it. But the air marshal makes a lot of sense too.
The air marshal can pull all this off.
Right.
So he goes up to the captain, right, and he's talking to him. He's like, look, he's like, she's taking the plane hostage. And the captain's like, what? He's like, she has a bomb. I just found it. She told me exactly where it was. It's at the bottom of the plane. That's where she placed it. That's why she ran off earlier. You know, she hid it in the casket. She wants $50 million in a G3 waiting for her filled, you know, when we land, you know, at where we're landing. And the captain's like, oh my God, what? Like, he's freaking out. He can't believe it. He's like, and he tells her, like, he's like, she probably killed her husband. You know, he's like, I don't think she wants to hurt anyone, but, you know, we should wire the money. You know, she's gonna she will blow the plane. You know, and he's like, the captain's like, okay. He's like, just notify. He's like, what we do is we keep her happy. We play on her terms. We let the FBI know down, you know, and all the people know. And then once the money's wired, notify me. I'll let her know. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's like, we'll take care of it. The captain's like, okay. He's like, we got to keep her thinking she's in control, right, Captain? The captain's like, yeah, you're right. He's like, all right, so we'll land, and then we'll take her down. And then Stark's like, okay, you know?
Fuck. How are they going to get out of this?
So captain's like, should I? He's like, I want to talk. He's like, I can't believe she did this. He's like, no, you don't say anything to her. We gotta, trust me. That's what we don't need. So right then, the flight attendant who was questioning her, and she was like, where did you search the plane? She comes up to the car dude and she's like, she knows. I promise. I think she knows that I'm in on it. She knows everything. He's like, relax. We're almost through. You know what I mean? We're right there. We're at the finish line.
Right.
You know? He's like, she was gonna be dead in 10 minutes, and he's like, they're gonna find her with a bullet hole in her head. Once this plane lands, I'll just shoot her in the head, and they'll have the. He's like, I'll hit the button, and we'll leave that, and the only evidence will be her 6-year-old daughter, who will be vaporized, at the fucking bottom of the thing. Like, we're almost there. It's fine. So he's like, get it together. She's panicking though. So the captain, he hits up the dude, says the money's been wired. The plane's waiting. Everything's, He's like, all right, I'll let her know. So he comes back, and the FBI, like, he goes to talking to J.D. Foster. He's like, he uncuffs her, and he tells her, hey, everything's going to be okay. The FBI's, been let know about your daughter. He's like, what they're going to do is they're going to detain every single passenger on the plane, and they're going to question everybody, and we're going to have 2 FBI agents come on the plane with me and you, and they're going to help us look every single inch of this plane. And she's like, okay, thank you. She's like, what about the crew? He's like, what? She's the crew. You're going to question the crew? Somebody in this crew is definitely in on it. And then he kind of like, he's like, we're going to do everything, I promise. We're going to get it handled, okay? Just trust me. And she's like, okay, thank you again. She thanks him. Plane lands. All right, there's buses waiting outside. There's a private jet. You see police everywhere, FBI everywhere, of course. You know what I mean? And then, he tells Jodie's like, hey, we're just going to chill in the plane, let everybody, get out, let the FBI do their thing, and then we'll search. She's like, okay. So you see everybody deboarding. You see everybody leaving the plane. You see the captain and the crew now leaving. She sees the captain. And then she's like, and she runs up. He's like, "Oh, ma'am." And he runs up to her. She's like, and he's like, ma'am, I want to make sure. She goes, Captain, I want to make sure nothing leaves this plane, okay? All the evidence and everything will stay on this plane. We're going to find my daughter. And then he goes, well, I don't really have an option about anything, do I? And then he keeps walking, and he's like, all right, let's go back to our seat, all right? And then she goes, what? And then she keeps walking towards him, like, what are you talking about? And she's like, Captain. And she runs after him, and then he stops and he looks at her. Like, now he's pissed, Ned Stark. She's like, I know I broke the law. I know I ruined your flight. I'm sorry, but it's just, in a couple minutes, we're going to find my daughter, and you're going to owe her an apology. Do you know that? And he goes, Miss Pratt, your money's been wired. Your G3 is waiting. Let go of the daughter routine. I'm sick of this. It's over. You know what you're doing. You know what. And then she's like, what? And then she's like, what the hell are you talking about? And then he keeps talking. And then right then, Carson, she looks over. He's walking off the plane. He's just walking off. And then she realizes what's going on. And she goes, Carson! He stops. You get off this plane. When I say you get off this plane. And he turns around. And now he's like, Because now he knows. Like she's like, she knows.
Yeah.
And she's like, fucking like, you motherfucker. You know what I mean? Like she's like, I know it's you.
Right.
And then he's like, and then he walks up. And then she goes, he walks back up and he goes, he looks right in her ear and he gets in close. He goes, you want to play? Let's play. And she goes, I want my daughter. He goes, you do anything. She's the first one to go. And then now she, you know what I mean? Because now she realizes, like, okay, I don't have the card.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not. He does have more. Like I have cards, but he also has the card.
Right.
He is the Joker.
He knows where the daughter is.
Yep. So that's the card.
Fuck. Of course he didn't. Of course he's in it. Yeah. He
right?
saw the daughter, that piece of shit.
Yeah, look at you. You believe him though when he's looking for her, because he is looking for her, and you're like, and he's doing all the things the air marshal would do. So it's like,
and he seems like he's a good guy.
But he planned this out. I mean, it would also. It has to be a super smart person. Skarsgård. Yeah, you're a fucking idiot. So, right then, the captain looks at her and he goes, "Will that be all?" And then she goes, "No," because he's about to leave, and she goes, "I want the air marshal to give him your gun." And then he looks at her like, and then the captain's like he's just,
right.
And the dude takes out his gun and she's like, "Yep." And then he walks off. She's like, "And close the door," and he's like. And he closes the door, and he's like, "Well, look, I think we need to talk." And then right as he turns back around, she is a motherfucking fire extinguisher. Boom! Smashes right on his head. Bam! Knocks him out cold.
The air marshal?
Yeah, the air marshal. Because she makes him close
right.
Because she had that. He was still having to play with the captain like he wasn't the guy.
Right.
So she knew that.
Right.
So, so she fucking, boom. She takes off, he's fucking, knocked out. She cuffs him to the thing, and then she's like, "Where is she? Where'd you put her?" And then she's coming to. And then the stewardess, remember the stewardess? She's sneaking back on the plane. And now she walks and she's like, "Oh shit, like this is not, the girl's free." Right. And then she's like, "She's in avionics, isn't she?" And the stewardess' eyes get big. She's like, "Hey, she's in avionics!" Because she kept mentioning the thing about avionics earlier. That's remember I kept saying she said avionics the most. Then she kept saying, like, "Have you checked avionics? Have you checked avionics?" She could get there. And then the guy right then, he comes to and he grabs his ankle gun and he shoots his handcuffs off and he starts trying to shoot her, right? And then, because he's chasing after her, and then she locks herself in the pilot's cabin. Right. And that thing is bulletproof. So and he's like, and his nose is bleeding. He comes up and then she screams to the door, "My husband didn't jump or fall off that building." And then he's like, "We needed a coffin. We needed a coffin and a credible hijacker that needed the plane. That was you." He's like I thought it through.
Fuck, he killed the husband? Jesus.
We needed a coffin. He's like, who would have the status? How can we pull this off?
Jesus Christ.
So she makes it right then. She does what she did in the bathroom earlier. Remember, she goes. She knows the captain's thing, so she opens the thing, and then she throws a book way down the thing on the top. And so now he's like, and then he starts walking, like talking to the, as he walks away. He's now thinking, and then she's watching through the thing, and then she comes out, right? And she's all scared. She's breathing slow. She's sneaking around because you don't see him anymore. And then she sees the bathroom door open up. She freezes, and then nobody comes out. And then she looks in and you see his feet climbing up and he's now looking for, up top looking for her. And then she fucking takes off running and then she sees the flight attendant. And the flight attendant's terrified. Right. She's terrified this whole time. You remember since she's been panicked, she's like
really bad choice for
she's like, I can't believe I fucked, like, why did I do this? Yeah. Also, most criminals in that kind of are like, when the shit hits the fan, they're like, I thought it was gonna be easy, I was gonna make $50 million and be in the Bahamas. Right. It's like, why would it go that way?
No.
Even if you pull it off, it ain't gonna go that good.
No. Also, you're pulling it off with this criminal mastermind who you're probably gonna die.
Probably gonna fucking killmonger you. So
yeah, she seems like a loose end for sure.
Oh, dude, I know a loose end when I see one.
Right,
bitch. Even if they pulled it off on the private jet, the moment we landed that private jet, and we were going.
Pow.
Hitting you in the head, strangling, and nobody's finding your body. Yeah. Your body is like, out of all the bodies that I had to do,
that's in the middle of the ocean somewhere.
Your body's done, dog.
Yeah. And that's how to plan a plane heist.
After I fuck at that one last time.
But what?
So she is she's talking to the flight attendant. She's walking towards her. Like Jodie Foster's walking towards her. The flight attendant. And she's walking towards like, you really want to kill a little girl? Is that who you are? Because I don't think I don't think that's who you are. I can see it. And she's getting closer and closer. And then she fucking bam hits her. And the girl's like, because she's just like full terrified, right? And then homeboy hears it, and then he comes down. And he's like, And then when he comes down, the stewardess sees it, and she's terrified, and she just runs off the plane. The stewardess just takes off, and she's just running. And the Carson guy's just watching her. He's just like, because now that is that loose end, and she's gone.
And she's gone, and she's going to talk.
Oh, she's talking.
Yeah.
She's talking.
Yeah.
So Jody, she gets to avionics finally, where with all the generators and all that stuff, and she sees her daughter.
Right.
She runs, and her daughter's completely knocked out. You can tell they gave her something. She's like, she's like, baby, and she's just like, and then she puts her daughter in a little locked stowaway part, this little compartment.
Right.
And then the dude comes down, this Skarsgård guy, and he's like, your husband, he didn't fall. He flew off that roof. And then he's looking for her. She's like, he's like, come out. He's like, no one's coming for you. No one cares. He goes, he's like, people, he's like, I'm a man, but he's like, nobody even noticed your daughter. He's telling her how he kidnapped her and like walked off with her. He's like, no one even looked up. You know what I mean? He's like, everyone, and he's just like, no one even cared. The people who were awake didn't even care. Which is probably true because it's a plane. If you're not paying, you wouldn't even notice it.
Yeah. Hide in plain sight. That's the best way to hide.
Oh, it's the best way.
Right.
God. So right then, while he's still talking all that shit, she sneaks her daughter in. Like she sneaks her into another stowaway through another. So now they're out.
Right.
And he's still looking for her, and he can't find them. And then finally he turns back, and then she has the detonator. Remember the detonator when she went through his pockets earlier to get the stuff, the handcuffs and stuff.
Yeah.
She also grabbed the detonator. She's looking at him, and he's like, "What you gonna do, huh? You gonna blow us all up? You gonna kill me and your daughter?" She goes, "Nope, just you." And then she closed the door, and he goes to shoot at her, and then she blows that nigga up, bro. And then because she knows what compartment she's in,
right?
So that shit, just that wing blows up. He fucking incinerates, right? People outside are screaming like, "Oh!" Like what the fuck? Cops are like, "What the fuck?" So smoke's coming up. You see someone walking out the wreckage, and everybody's like, "What the fuck?" And they're like, "What is she holding?" And then like, "Oh my god!" And then you see the captain, Ned Stark, and he's like, "It's her daughter." Like he's like, "Mother, I'm gonna be fired."
Oh, you didn't die.
Oh, he's a good guy in this.
That's true.
He didn't know.
Yeah,
he legit didn't know.
Yeah.
So the crew, of course, they're all watching. They feel like absolute shit. They're all like you can tell they're like, fuck. And then the captain, he's completely. So the next morning, captain walks up to her, and he's like, she looks just like you. And then she's like, yeah. The daughter's still knocked out. She's like a little bit of her dad too. The captain goes, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. And then right then you see the stewardess, she's getting arrested and they're walking her through, right? And then Jodie Foster's just looking at her like, you fucking evil bitch, and she's just got her head down. So all the passengers, of course, now she's walking through, all the passengers are staring at Jodie Foster and they all feel bad. They're all like, because she's holding her daughter who's still knocked out.
Right.
And then one little kid was like, "Mommy, I told you that I saw a little girl. I told you." And the mom's like, fuck,
Right.
And then finally the daughter kind of comes to and she wakes up. She's like, honey. And the daughter's like, "Are we there yet?" And then she laughs. And she's like, "No, not yet, but we're almost there." And then right then they put her like in the back of a little van, and then she gets in with her, and then you see her purse is on the ground, and you see a hand pick it up, and it's the Arab dude with the scratches on his face. And he's like, and he hands her purse, and then they kind of nod at each other. And then she gets in the plane, on the back of the thing. They drive off into the distance, into the light. Flight plan.
What a twist.
Not at all how you saw it going, huh?
No.
I told you, the trailer, they did a good job. Most trailers fuck it up because they give you everything.
Right.
But this trailer is like, okay, we got to let you know that a girl goes missing on the plane. But they were smart about it. Like, but we're not going to let you know every single other fucking detail.
Yeah.
We're just going to let you know that there's a missing girl on a plane.
Right, and that's all you know.
And that's all you know.
You don't, yeah. No,
you don't know that there's this whole
fucking
fucking
insane backstory.
No, and all these twists and turns.
Framed a murder.
And definitely you think the crew is involved, but it really is only one person in the crew is involved.
It's not even the captain.
But it's not. But they make it seem like there's a captain, and they make it seem like there's this other stewardess. So you'll watch it. Okay. They really make it seem like she's involved too.
Okay, and she's just
she's just
kind of a bitch.
No, and then there's another black stewardess who you think might be involved. But yeah, they're just kind of just. And there's two people making out. You think they're involved.
Oh yeah.
But it's really none of them.
And you don't know what these Arab guys are up to.
Oh, the Arab guys are for sure, because you do see the two Arab. There are two Arab dudes staring at her little girl's room.
Right.
In the beginning of the movie, and they do look like them. But it's not like. But it happens so fast in the beginning of the movie that you're like,
was it them?
Was it them? You're also like, was it them? And then man, they're fucking. Oh, it's so.
Well, that's smart to play on like the stereotype of what Arabs to play on that to make you as the audience be like, what are they up to? Even though they were up to nothing.
They were up to absolutely nothing.
Right.
And everyone's like, oh, because they're looking at all these serious faces, but it's also like how they look.
Yeah, that's their culture, serious culture.
Yeah. Like everything makes sense. It's not like oh yeah.
Yeah, and for the you're like that angry white dude for a while. You're like, oh, what are they doing? I want to fight them.
Yeah, for that. Well, because you're just like, man, what the fuck are they up to?
And it turns out
this is also 2005, so this is very close to 9/11.
Fresh. This is the exact opposite of Bring It On. This is a post 9/11 movie.
Oh, this is post 9/11. Sure. Oh, they bring it up. They literally say this is a post 9/11 plan, and I know how it works.
Yeah,
yeah.
9/11 is like, hi, I'm a dyke. Pre 9/11 is like, I'm a dyke named ISIS, and you're like, all right, this is a movie.
I wonder what the plan is. The protocol is for like a missing person on a plane, because it must be one of the things. It's a Hail Mary. It's like a this never happens kind of situation.
Mastermind. You run into a mastermind.
Yeah, you ran into a legit mastermind.
You ran into
and somebody involved with the air marshal, stewardess, captain, somebody like I said, the company owner, somebody running the term, like somebody. There's no way.
Right.
There's no way a person who's because if a passenger pulled it off, we're talking about a mastermind that like
next level. Like it's got to be someone in the inside.
Just so it can make sense.
Yeah. And there's got to be multiple people on it.
Yeah, at least two. And probably not.
No, almost every. He's sitting next to somebody.
Damn, bro. Yeah. They had to. Yeah, that shit was crazy. Good movie though. I really like this movie.
Yeah.
The whole time I was watching, I was like, damn, it's a good movie. I forgot how good this movie is.
Sounds fun. How long is it?
It's crazy. Hour 38.
Really?
Oh, tight.
Oh, nice.
That's why I did good in the box office.
Yeah.
People were like, oh, I'll see this and go see it. Or, because people see it and they tell friends or say, because 233 million on a small budget. I was very impressed.
That's impressive.
233 million? In 2005?
Yeah.
That's good. That's a big movie. That's we
like
talk for a psychological thriller. That's a hit. Dude, you today.
And the dad's alive. The dad's alive the whole time.
I can't anymore. I'm sorry, guys. Let's spoil the beat. Come back next week. God fucking damn it.
Dad's alive.